and welcome to the 473rd podcast of the NC Rowan County Anime Group. My name is Robert Kyle, and I'm currently the president of the group. Please bear with me in this podcast. I'm going to be covering a number of subjects today. Last Saturday, I went by my hometown Walmart, and to the delight of my surprise, I found this DVD, and this is Rwby. Now, there is a second DVD. I hadn't picked it up yet. I didn't have enough money, but I picked this one up. I had seen the first episode of Rwby on Crunchyroll. I'm going like, man, I'm glad to finally see this out. And I want to thank Walmart for at least picking it up. And I'm going to pick up the second DVD in December. But Rwby is a very nicely done story. You can go and watch it on Crunchyroll, but I really liked it so much that I felt like it needed to be in my collection. Also, too, I've been busy working on some projects. I went by the Rwby flea market and picked up a tripod for $10 that somebody was selling there. And yes, people, they did rebuild the Rwby flea market here in Salisbury. And I have a camera identical to the one that I'm currently using for this podcast, but I have a problem. It runs on 3 AAA batteries, and I'm having a friend do a modification to it so I can hook it up and run off electrical power in the building. Also, too, he's working on a light system so that I won't end up having too dark a podcast, and I can have some very nicely, pictures and also too podcasts done in light. And he's busy working on this project, and I hope to have it done before Ichiban Con 5. Now, I'm going to cover a little bit of history about Ichiban Con. When I first got this flyer at Concord Mills Mall at FYE, I did a little research trying to find out about the people who ran Ichiban Con. But I only got this little vague note saying that some of the members of Ichiban Con had helped out with an anime event at a library. And I said, okay, that works for me. And I tried contacting him and didn't get a reply back. It's easy for emails to get lost or, be kind of wary about the people who have been sending me emails and don't know if I can trust them or not. So I went to Great Wolf Lodge. And this is in January on a Saturday in 2010. And I saw these beautifully carved wolf statues in brown varnish. And I was thinking to myself at the time, I wish my friend Rick Davis was with me, because I feel like Rick would have gladly sat down and sketched them out. I knew I was thinking about getting a sketchbook out and sketching them down myself if I had the time. And I thought it was very nicely done. Now, at the time, Great Wolf Lodge was pretty much a new building because I didn't even know about it being in existence until somebody handed me that flyer and I looked up the information on the internet. So I went in there, and it's a very nicely, hotel. Saw some very interesting things like, a little doll clock thing that came out, and I'm thinking, boy, that's nice. So I went to the information desk and I said, now, where's this convention at? I don't know where. They said downstairs, other part of the building. A gentleman comes up and asks me a question. He says, well, what's your favorite anime? And I go, like, that's a very difficult question to ask. I really don't like being asked that question because with me, it's always mood. If I want to watch a comedy, I'll get out a comedy. If I want to go and watch an adventure series, I'll go and get out an adventure series. If I really want to feel like I want to get sad, which is very, very rare, I don't like watching sad animes, I'll get one out and watch it. But it's just according to my food and meal at the time. But I did tell him about Leia Chevalier Dayon, and this is a story that takes place during pre-revolutionary France, and it's done by Production IG, and it was voted in 2007 by Anime Insider as the best animated series for that year. And I told him about that. I also told him about Key to Metal Idol. So I went downstairs, and I so much wanted to be a part of this convention. I didn't want to just be in attendance. I wanted to really be a participant and be a part of it. And a gentleman suggested to me, well, why don't you just go to the information place where the convention is and just ask them to volunteer your services. I said, well, that's a very good idea. I wish I could remember who did that, but this has been about 4 years ago, and memory's now getting a bit foggy. So I went there and I volunteered, and The gentleman went up and he questioned me for a little bit, and it's understandable. You didn't want to have a fool go up and run your panel. He said, well, we do have an opening. There's this panel called Anime You Never Heard Of, and you're going to have help. And I go, that's fine, I can work with people. And I had a bit of a cold that day. I wasn't really feeling that good. So the panel was till 7 o'clock. I said, I'm going to last it out. I'm going to do this panel no matter what, because I wanted to be so much a part of that convention. Time the panel comes up, and guess what? None of the other helpers show up. I'm the only one there. So what I did, I took over the panel and just ran it the way I felt like it needed to be ran. And I had a great time giving out information and people asking me questions and talking about different animated subjects. Robot Carnival being one, Billy Cat, and The Laughing Target, just to name a few animates that we did talk about, and of course the XL Saga. And at the end of the panel, I decided, well, I'll end it with a non-anime quote, and I told people it was from a non-anime series. I've been a big Doctor Who fan for many years, and I ran a Doctor Who fan club called the Lost Quality TARDIS. So it was, during certain times I have used this quote to end my panels at those conventions as well when I did Doctor Who panels. And the quote is this: "One day I shall come back, yes, one day. Until then, let there be no tears, no regrets, no anxiety. Go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine." And that was taken from the Dalek Invasion of Earth and also to the beginning of the Five Doctors. And everybody gave me a round of applause because Doctor Who had just came back on the air and there were a few Doctor Who fans in the audience. Afterwards, I came back on the second day of Ichiban Con and talked with some of the actors and actresses that was there, Wendy Powell, and had a marvelous time with the people there at that convention. Then I volunteered for the second year of Ichiban Con. I ended up doing my panels and a few others because we were running into problems with people came up with great panel ideas, didn't show up for their panels, so I did a lot of fill-in work. I had a marvelous time. If you would ask me to do it again, I'd gladly do it in a heartbeat. Well, our next event for the NC Rowan County Anime Group, we will be having a meeting at Woodley Flames on November 24th in the conference room from 6 to 8 to watch Send the Movie. Send the Movie is a very mature anime, not for little kids to watch. Recommended age for Send the Movie, I would have to say at least 14 up. And then on December the 14th, we will be having our Christmas party and our 10th anniversary party because our group got started on December 15th of 2003 in the Comic Mon store in Salisbury, North Carolina. That was our very first meeting. And then our home convention is Ichiban Con. This will be happening on January the 9th through the 12th. I am doing panels at Ichiban Con. I am working on a display right now for the NC Rowan County Anime Group to give a loose timeline of 200 years of manga. And then we are looking for a place to hold our January meeting, which we're going to be showing My Hime. And then in February is our second home convention called What the Hell Con. We're still waiting for information about that. The Item Club has been known to be a little slow at times, but I hope by the time January rolls around we will have some information up about What the Hell Con. So please keep an eye for us in the future podcast. Thank you very much for watching this podcast today, and may you have a very good day. Goodbye.